What you're seeing here is a USB rechargeable brick, and it's going to my swamp cooler. And the swamp cooler, as well as the personal cooler, as well as rechargeable fans — this is one of my rechargeable fans, I have several — are all kind of an adjunct to the vehicle air conditioning. And in order to be able to keep the vehicle at some kind of decent level, it requires blocking the sun as much as possible. And the best thing is what they sell for RVs that hook onto your mirror there, and then you can wrap them around the front so the sun never gets through the windshield. This is made to block sun. It's got reflective material, but unfortunately, because it's on the inside, the sun has already gotten in. The idea is to block it from getting in any further, and keep it trapped up front. It's really hot under there. This is a rain umbrella, but it does a really good job of providing some shade. As you can see, it's not nearly as sunny as it would be if it weren't there. I'm going to be leaving this spot very soon, so there's no reason for me to set up a whole, sun blocking thing with all the reflectics and stuff. But anyway, a lot of people ask me about surviving in summertime in a van, and the answer is simple. It's hard. It's really hard. And because I have MS-related heat intolerance, you can Google that. It's a thing. It's very difficult. So, I have to use as many different methods as I can to try to keep cool. And I have many, many different methods. I mean, for one thing, I keep this misting bottle really handy so I can, spray down and cool off that way. And then I have, like this personal cooler. When it's full, I have to refill it. There's a chamber there. It fills from the back. You fill it up, and cool mist jets, you see the jets there at the bottom of the fan, come out and help cool you. And I don't leave, there's a cute light on it that you can choose whatever color you want, but that's a real battery suck, so I don't like to use — that's rechargeable. I don't like to use the lights, as pretty as they may be. And then, of course, I have a bunch of these rechargeable fans of different kinds, but this one right now is out of juice. I have to recharge it. It's not always easy to recharge things when you're in a vehicle. But these help tremendously, and the swamp cooler helps a lot. You fill it up with water or ice at the bottom, and it really helps keep it cooler if you're in a relatively cool environment. If that were the only thing I were relying on, it doesn't help much. It's a swamp cooler. It's not going to really bring the temperature down a lot. But in the van, when it's relatively air conditioned already, which right now it is, I can actually set it, like instead of setting this all the way up to high, I can keep it at 1 or 2, and then this is kind of going to help. It's going to make it so that I don't have to blast the AC, which is going to save gas. So there's a lot going on as far as how I manage to stay cool. Another thing I do, silly as this will sound and look. Okay, so you see that boot right there sitting on my scooter? So what that is, ridiculous or not, is you fill it up with water at the bottom and you stick your feet in. And sitting in cool water, which I can put those footy things down at the floor there, and it really helps to cool down. And, it also soaks your feet, so you can keep your feet clean and whatever. So, yeah, misting, shading, swamp cooling, fans, and feet soaking are all ways of keeping cool. And if used in conjunction wisely, you can actually You know, the best too is if you can stay in a shaded parking spot, which I gotta tell you sounds so easy to say and impossible to find. Most places that you go, you're lucky if there's one spot in the entire lot that is shaded. Maybe two, but the rest of the lot isn't, so it's horrible. But I just wanted to, you know, make this short little video to give some people ideas on how to, first off, keep cooler in the van in the summer, and secondly, how to save some gas. Even if you're not homeless, even if you're just driving around, if you have a fan and a couple of swamp coolers, whatever, like I'm talking about, that's going to help lower the amount of AC you need to use when you're driving around. Opening windows doesn't help much. It helps the heat to escape initially, and then all it does is let in heat and humidity. So having the window open is a bad idea more often than not. So people say to me all the time, "Oh, I worry about you being out in the van in the winter," but you never have to worry about me being in anything in the winter. I'm fine in the winter. Winter, you can always put on extra socks or hats or gloves or whatever, but summer, you just have no recourse. There's no way to cool down. You know, winter, you can always add layers, add blankets. In the winter, I can fill my hot water bottle with boiled water, and that's going to help tremendously to stay warm. So winter is not the challenge at all for me. Not to mention the winters here are so mild now. You know, we get a burst or two of bitter cold, but then you know, that's it. And I do fine on the bitter cold days. I know how to handle it. It's not great when you want to get stuff done, because most of the time you're just sitting there bundled up doing nothing. But, you know, it would cost a lot of money to run the van for heat as well. So I try not to do that if I don't have to. Anyway, I hope that this is at least a little bit helpful to people. The other thing that's really important is to hydrate. Make sure you're drinking enough fluids. That's critical. So my followers know how to find me, and if you have any questions, otherwise, if you're just watching this, I'm sorry I don't allow commenting, but I don't have time to police for trolls, and that's pretty much what you get, you know, on videos. So I never feed the trolls.